Good morning, everyone. Hi, welcome to a Christian channel, Lord Roy Cornwall. It's 8:30 in the morning here on July the 6th. It's a Sunday, 2025. Now, I want to talk to you about the rapture because I've not talked to you about that yet. And when I look at the rapture, I try to think, because it hasn't happened yet, and the only one who knows when it's going to happen is God Himself. So all these people that get on the YouTube and they say, oh, this thing is happening, so the rapture is going to happen, or this thing has happened, and this thing has happened, for sure the rapture, nobody knows when the rapture is going to happen but God Himself. So what I do is as I look back into the past to try to see if God has already shown us this rapture, maybe in a mini way or something, you know. So I look back and I go way back to Moses when he parted the Red Sea. When the military chased those civilians, the ones that wanted to break free from slavery, he had them pinned up against the sea, and they were going to slaughter them all right there. But the Lord made a promise to Moses that He would teach him what to say and do. So, because God is love. He's love. That's all He is love. He doesn't have anger or wrath or hate, because if He did, there'd be no rapists or murderers or child molesters. He'd squash them, basically. So, no. You run your own life. Remember what I'm saying here. You run your own life, and so did they. Right? And it's your decision whether to follow God or not. Same as them. So, God parts the Red Sea, and all the good people go through. And what was stopping the military from attacking at that point was the finger of God. It was a tornado of flame that kept the army off these people while they went through the sea to the other side. So God saw that His people were safe, and He was going to close that sea no matter what. He was going to close it. He told all the military people not to go into that sea. But they didn't listen to their Holy Spirit, did they? They tied them up, gagged them, and the Holy Spirit put them in the back of it. It was their head there, and didn't listen. They never listened to the Holy Spirit, the Egyptians. Okay? So, the fire stops, and God gives them a choice right there. He says, because everybody runs their own life, He says, don't go in there, I'm going to close the sea. And they didn't even listen to God again. So you got to remember, the Egyptians chanted, kill God, kill Moses, kill all those people before they left. So God, He gave them one final chance. He says, don't go into that Red Sea, I'm going to close it. Well, they didn't listen. Now, God didn't really say He was going to close the sea. What He really said was, I'm going to take my love from the military. They all had Holy Spirit, so they weren't listening to them. He took them all out, and He did that when they went into where the water was separated. All that happened. Even the horses didn't want to go in there. Even the horses knew they weren't supposed to go in there. So, okay, they enter. They got nothing on their mind but hate and kill. Right? That's the devil all over. So God takes His love away from those people. And when He did that, the devil acted. It was the devil that closed that Red Sea, not God. God parted the Red Sea. He probably would not have dropped it on. He would have found a different way without killing, but it was the devil who killed there. The devil closed the Red Sea upon the military. Every time God takes his love from you, you're gonna meet the devil. The devil's gonna show up right there in front of your face. Now, Sodom and Gomorrah, same thing happened there. All those people who lived in Sodom and Gomorrah, they didn't listen to the Holy Spirit or God, ever. They did everything wrong. I mean, they even militarized themselves to be evil in those two cities. They had gangs, Roman gangs, stuff like this. I mean, they were evil. Now, the Holy Spirit, because everybody has the Holy Spirit as far as I'm concerned, says to God, he says, come down, help us, get us out of here. God comes out, what's going on? And the Holy Spirit says, these people don't listen to us. They don't follow your teachings, Lord. They don't want you, period. They repeatedly said this. So, even at that point, I think God gave them a last chance. And they didn't come about. So what did he do? He removed his love from them. His love, that's all. His only he can give is love. He has no wrath or anger. I'll remind you again, if he did, there'd be no rapists or murderers or child molesters or any evil on this planet at all. But he gave us all the choice, and their choice was to denounce God. So God took his love from them, and when he did that, the devil jumped in. He jumped right there in their face because God's not around anymore. And it was the devil that put those balls of fire, sulfur down onto Sodom and Gomorrah, not on all the people around the outside edges who did believe in God. Only on Sodom and Gomorrah where they didn't. God took his love from them, and the devil showed up. Now, okay, I'm 100% positive of what I'm going to say to you next year. Because I've gone to heaven, I've talked, Jesus Christ, he not only spoke to me, but he gave me a download. And in that download, he told me what's going to happen to me if I don't follow the Lord, right? He says, one day you're going to die, and this is what happens if you don't believe in God. God is love, only love. That's all he has. That's all he can take. That's all he can give, is love. So not me. Okay, he's not showing this with me, he's showing this with other people to me. He says, people don't believe in me, they denounce me their whole life, they don't want nothing to do with me their whole life. They die, and they're put in front of the pearly gates. Now, they expect those gates to open up for them, but they denounced God a long time ago. So God locks the door of heaven. He doesn't want bad people in heaven, he's going to protect all those good souls, right? So, God takes his Holy Spirit from the man and his love. And who takes him to hell? It's not God. God doesn't send him to hell. It's the devil. Comes again. He's waiting there. He's drooling, smiling. Takes the guy right to hell. He doesn't want to go, but he denounced God. It was his own decision. It was you run your own life, and so did that man. And he told everybody and himself that he didn't want nothing to do with God. He chased money, women, all the bad stuff his whole life. So it was the devil that took him to hell. Right? Now, we're all the way up to where the rapture is going to happen here. And because of you never listen to what people say. You watch what they do. What they do is the truth, and usually what they say is a lie. So when I listen to what God has done in the past, I can apply that to what he's going to do in the future. Now, God's going to come over the hill, as far as I know, as best as I know. And this comes from the download. He's going to come over the hill, and he's going to, basically, this is very simplified, he's going to scoop up all the people that believed in him, that worshipped him, and knew he was there, never turned their back on God when things got bad. Good Christians, he's going to scoop them all up. Right? If you're playing to be God-like and you're not, God's going to know that. You won't be able to fool him with with being godlike only on Sundays. No, he is highly intelligent, and he's in your head. You can't fool him. He knows how you feel. So, okay, he removes all his people here on earth, and that's going to be a whole parcel of them. There's a lot of good Christians in this world. They're all going to get scooped up. That's why he's going to come over the hill with about 100 billion angels, right? See, there's 8 billion people here on earth, but this has been going on since man has drawn a breath. So he's got so many angels up there, it's ridiculous. They're going to come over the hill, and they're going to scoop up all the good people, and the bad people are going to be left behind, just like at the gates, the pearly gates, just like Sodom and Gomorrah, just like the parting of the Red Sea. He told them all, he gave them all hundreds, chance after chance after chance to follow him. And they said no. Now, when Jesus told me all this, because I was sort of on the fence, he asked me a question. He says, now you know, will you follow? Because he told me an awful lot, and he's still telling me stuff. Of course I have to follow. I've seen this man. He's real. Okay, I have to follow this. Now, there will be people taken out of the grave. And my understanding on that is that these people are on hold. Some people say it's purgatory. I say it's a waiting room. They're waiting in a waiting room. Don't forget, the waiting room in heaven, 3 seconds, 4 seconds up there is like a whole eternity down here. So these people have been waiting their whole, but up in heaven, it's a very short time. So God gives all the people who didn't believe in God. I mean, there are people in the outback in Ulster who never heard of God. There are a lot of people who've not been told the Lord's word. So he's going to give all them a second chance, just like me. He gave me a chance. He's not vicious in his ways. He's loving and kind. So even though these people are misled that they've done bad and everything, he's going to give them a second chance. He's going to go through them all, every story, and make sure he's not turning his back on somebody who loves him. That's very important. So, yeah, the rapture is when things got too bad at the Red Sea, he stepped in. When things got too bad in Sodom and Gomorrah, he stepped in. Now, there are other things in the Bible where the Bible was written 2,000 years ago. They put anger and wrath and all these, because they had limited vocabulary back then. And everything was evil and anger, and Rome was running around telling people. That's what they used for terminology, right? When they said the armor of God, they said armor. George, we're going to stick this guy with a sword, because that's their world back then. They didn't know anything else. But the armor of God is not sword and shields. It's a ball of blue round love, intense, intense love. And once you got this on you, nothing can harm you. It's not an offensive weapon, it's a defensive weapon, the armor of God. And it's not shields and stuff. So, the point here is that God is love. All he can give is love, and all he can take away is love. And that's where a lot of people get into trouble, because they denounce God their whole life. God takes his love from that person, and he ends up in hell. It doesn't take long. If he takes your love from you here on earth, bad things will happen to you. The devil will look for you, seek you, find you, and attack you. The raptures, if you can look back into the past and say to yourself, look at all the evil and stuff that was happening then, right? It's no wonder God stepped in for the part of the Red Sea. No wonder God stepped in for Sodom and Gomorrah. Can we not say that now, but what's happening now with all the wars? And Trump trying to kill his own country and attacking all these other, he dropped bombs on Iran. This, you know, can we not say that now? That if you came over the hill, people would say, well, that doesn't surprise me. Because we're really bad right now. The good side is winning, and the bad side is acting up because of it. The devil never attacks somebody who is his friend. Only the ones that come cause him harm, which is all the good people. So, the more that happens to you bad, it's because you're important to God, and God uses it as a test. You've got to pass those tests. Don't forget, He's trying to place you in heaven. Right? So, the point I'm trying to make, it's a very important point, that God does not have wrath or anger or revenge or remember what you did 3 years ago, I'll get you now. He's not like that. Do you know what love is? That's what He is. So, we'll leave this at this right now, and try to understand that the bad things on this earth, the really bad things, are all happening by the devil. And all the good things, everything, even that nice flower growing in your garden, is done by God. Now you can choose either way, the devil or God. I chose God, and my life has been much better. I don't have a girl in my life. I don't have family, kiss or kin. I don't have, but I have the Lord. And just one more thing I found out about myself before we go is I bought a wooden cross. It cost me $35 on the computer. That's $35 I ever spent. It's up here on the wall right now, and I asked myself, why have I got that on the wall? Well, the Lord watches us for praying to deities and all kinds of stuff, right? The Lord carried a cross to His death, and I'm going to carry that cross to my death. That I just figured this out. I've had this cross for a year, but now I understand why I did it. Because I'm trying to be like God, like Jesus. He carried a cross, and so do I. That's why I got one here. That's why I got one on the wall. Okay, so we'll leave it at that. So by God's awesome grace, your overflowing love, Jesus, and the support of the Holy Spirit, and the protection of Michael the Archangel, we'll all meet together down the road in heaven. Count on it. Blessings, everybody. Have a wonderful summer. Hope you're having a wonderful summer. And my love goes with you. Blessings, everyone. Have a great day. Bye-bye.